You'll be aware that I gave a holding statement to the media on Friday evening in regards to what we then confirmed was the shooting death of a young man from the Pembroke area. Mr. Mello, Mr. Jason Mello, was shot at about 7:41 p.m. on Friday evening, the 19th of August, on Bandram Lane in Pembroke. On arrival at the scene, officers responding to the 911 calls found that Mr. Mello had been conveyed to King Edward Memorial Hospital with multiple gunshot wounds, where he sadly succumbed to his injuries. He was pronounced dead at 8:01 p.m. He leaves behind a 6-year-old son and 3-year-old daughter, and numerous other family members and friends. We understand that Mr. Mello was in fact home from school in England for the summer to make money for his studying tuition and other costs. Officers have processed significant evidence from the scene, and a forensic autopsy is due to be completed in the next couple of days. And we are now in the process of piecing together Mr. Mello's final movements and activity with a view to identifying any possible motive for this murder. The gunman, we believe, was a single male rider of a motorcycle who entered Bandram Lane on a motorcycle, parking it higher up nearer the St. Monica's Road area, wearing heavy, dark-colored winter clothing, which would have been unusual on a hot August evening. He is believed to have parked his cycle and walked down to lower down on Bandram Lane, where Mr. Mello was seated, and which is where he shot him to death. He then returned to the parked motorcycle higher up on Bandram Lane and rode out through St. Monica's Road, and we are working to trace the steps of that motorcycle after it left the scene. We are appealing for anyone that saw this suspect or the motorcycle, or indeed has any knowledge about the incident, to come forward and speak to detectives from the Serious Crime Unit. Obviously, it's a very small, quiet community up in that area, and seeing a person wearing such clothing on a quiet, hot August evening surely would have stood out, and people would have made a note of that. So we really urge anyone that has any information to come forward and make contact with the senior investigating officer with this matter, who unfortunately, due to operational commitments, is not here with me. But the senior investigating officer for this is Acting Inspector Dean Martin. My colleague, Detective Chief Inspector Mark Clark, will speak to you about further issues about that. But as I alluded to on Friday evening, we are aware that this incident falls on the heels of another incident on Friday evening. We have significant resources in place that are investigating this and are continuing to follow both these incidents and other incidents forward. I will say that we have a good track record of dealing with these matters, and in particular of dealing with people that bring information to us, bringing that information to us and dealing with it in confidence. We have a number of mechanisms by which we can take that information or deal with people that wish to bring these callous offenders to justice. So I would urge anyone that has any information to come forward to bring that to the attention of the investigating team, or they can do that confidentially through the Crime Stoppers number, which is 800-8477.